If you ain't Brittany, Lindsay, Heather, Fran, all you hoes is mid. Heard a fake rumor about me, ain't got something on the kid. That don't change the fact that there's just no flavor in your riz. That was given from the stars, so it just is what it is. Now drop the bin, well, when I step to the plate, everybody knows that I electrify. Every time, I just pray and never fall, even when the bullets stick when I signify. Every girl is out of my league, so these days, man, as a wife, Geminis, they thought they had us down bad. Now we going 25, 29.
Topic of the night. We'll let you go, and then I know D got a lot of words on this. Stephen A. versus the GOAT James. Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? If you was in the league and you got me drafted, and we on the Knicks, you coming stepping like that on Stephen A. You slapping him. What you doing? You know, he don't put some respect on my name. What you doing?
I don't think I would have stepped to him like that. I think what I would have stepped to, but I think I would have pulled him out and said, I want to see you after the game. You know, I would have given him that look and was like, yo, make sure you stay behind the game. Because to me, that would have been more impactful. Because if he'd have did that and the media seen it, they'd have been like, yo, did you see him call him out and told him to stay for the game, end of the game? And then you handle the business. You know, that's what he should have said, is me handle that business afterwards. But as a father, see, this is something LeBron got to learn to take accountability for too. He did this. Because now you got to understand his son going to take on his hate, because so many people hate him. So now the son going to have to feel it. And I do agree with Stephen A. and everybody else. After he did all that ceremony stuff, he should have said, listen, I want you to go down there for about 10 games and then come back up, because I want to see how you are after about 10 games. And then the rest of the year, you stay up here. Then nobody would have said nothing. You know what I mean? Because he would have had enough time to practice and look somewhat good. But I do understand him as a father. You want your son by you, but this is a job, man. He put him as a job. This NBA is a job. So, you know, I don't blame him, and I don't blame Stephen A. because he told the truth, man. Your son stink. You know what I mean? You got to keep it real.
D, you had a lot of smoke. This your solo shot, D. Go ahead and dress it. You done told it.
Look here, Stephen A. I understand what you're trying to do, and I appreciate you speaking your piece about my GOAT and his son. But you got to understand, you know, not everybody's blessed with the opportunity to be able to play with their son. And I respect what LeBron did, but do I think he should have handled that, you know, on the court? No. Me personally, I would have hit you after the game. I would have pulled up to your crib and we could have discussed this off camera. We're going to have that conversation at your house. Fuck security, fuck everything else. Me and you talking. Even though we got to meet outside, I'm going to let you know this as a father and as a man.
A real dude. Y'all be sleeping on Stephen A. Stephen A. a real dude.
Hey, no,
Stephen
A
got them hands.
Stephen A. a real nigga, though, bro.
Oh, that's fine.
Like that. And he
fine.
Really with that shit, though. That's what people don't understand. Stephen A. really one of the ones.
Y'all know what happened to the last player that said something.
Exactly.
He potentially got hurt. But you know,
got hurt magically.
It's crazy. Your boy got hurt after that. But hey, go ahead, D. My bad. I just had to point that out. But go ahead.
You did. But in all honesty, I believe what he kind of said was kind of out of line, because I'm like, bro, like Bronny can't help where he came from, and he can't help the situation that he's in. Like, not everybody gets that opportunity to, you know, present that. Like, it's funny you can talk, but until you on the other side, until you in that situation, you don't understand.
I mean, did he hold on? Did he actually call Bronny trash? Like, he called him trash, or he was just speaking like he was just giving his opinion? Like, he ain't actually called him trash.
I mean, as an analyst, you have every right to give your opinion.
He called him trash.
Okay, so his opinion is his opinion.
He said his opinion was he want to stop doing this to your son, man. Let him go back to the G League and work on his craft. That's what he wanted him to do, is to work on his craft. What he's
saying is, I believe in that. He's absolutely right. Just leave your son alone. Stop trying to put him in this limelight. Like, he can't go to any away games in the G League. He's always at every home game that you guys are playing in at Staples. I don't think you should be doing that. But I do think Stephen A. did kind of cross the line a little bit, trying to get into the father son business side of it. Just keep it strict with basketball only, because basketball is gonna be Bronny's job. Basketball is Bron's job. So just keep it strict with basketball. Once you start getting that father son relationship, you did this for your son, that and this and that. Then that's probably why LeBron stepped to him. If he was just talking about basketball, I feel like LeBron would have had a different approach to it, in my opinion.
I
But
agree.
I don't think this has nothing to do with basketball. It's just the fact that he's bringing up his son, which again, to your part, Omar, this is LeBron's fault because you're putting this out here. Your son
Hmm.
is so better than so and so players, better than the 15th player on a lot of people's rosters, this and that. You putting a target on your son's back. So every time your son get in the game, in the regular season game for the Los Angeles Lakers, it's a target on his back. So yes, we're gonna
Hmm.
play extra hard defense to make sure he don't score a damn point. He don't get a rebound. He don't get a steal. He don't do
Even in
nothing.
garbage time.
We're gonna make him look terrible every time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, Stephen A. not wrong, LeBron not wrong. I mean, they both handled it like they were supposed, like they wanted to, I guess. But if I'm LeBron, I would
No,
have hit him up after the game or something.
Uh,
And
Jay,
uh,
go ahead.
Listen, I'm coming into the fence of Stephen A. Smith. I am on this one because here's the thought, and I've been thinking about this since it happened. Here's my thought process. Stephen A. Smith is a reporter first. His job is to report. We all know Stephen A. Stephen A. is going to do what? He's going to ruffle feathers. He does it with the Dallas Cowboys all the time. That's what he does. That's why he signed for 100 mil. That Stephen A. is going to get under your skin. When he pulls out that hat, Southern Steve, that's what he does. His job is to report. He's reporting what he sees. We all see, and I'll be the first one to say it. Bronny sucks. Okay?
no,
He's an
time out,
NBA
bro.
player.
Hold on.
He
Nah,
hold on,
he not
hold
trash,
on,
bro.
hold on.
Just calm
He is an
down on that.
NBA player, and he has earned that right. And he is up there in the NBA, and he's far better than me or anybody that I've ever known. Yes, but now that he's an NBA player, he is compared to what other NBA players, and
Bro,
compared to them,
hold on.
he is not that good. If you're
But
finish,
no, hold
Rose.
Not
on. I'm
everybody.
gonna
Not
no. No,
Let me
hold on,
finish.
Rosie.
Hold
Hold on.
on.
No, hold on. Let me say this real quick. You can't compare him. He's the 55th pick. What are you comparing him to? What are you expecting him to come in here
The
and
40,
do?
the 54. The 54 in front of
What?
him.
Okay,
You got
let me ask
drafted.
you this.
I
No,
have the right to compare
let
you.
me ask you this, Jay. Let me ask you a few questions. Throughout that whole draft, besides Dalton Connect, who else is in that draft that we are talking about on a day-to-day basis? Who is the world talking about more? Bronny James or the rest of the draft?
Because he's who? No, honestly, if he would take
He's
away
the
the name,
55th pick.
take
He's the
listen,
55th pick, and
Rose,
we're giving
Rose,
him
take away the
acknowledgement
name,
every day.
take away the name. Are we talking about him?
What are you
Because
expecting
we're
the
not talking about
55th pick?
Zachary Ricochet.
Let
We're not
me
talking
ask
about
you this.
Zachary
Let me
Ricochet.
ask you this. What
Take
are we
away the
expecting the
name. Are we
55th pick?
talking about him?
What
Take
are
away
we
the name.
expecting the
Take away the
55th
name. Is
pick
he the
to do?
55th pick? Is he the
He would have
55th pick?
got
You take
drafted
away.
regardless. He was gonna get drafted regardless.
There was five other. There was
If
five
it
better players
if
on his
it
team. Take away his name. Are we really talking? That's the thing.
In the G League, he averaging 23 right now, right?
That's great
Since he's
in the
so
G
trash.
League. Do you watch the G League every? Or you watching
He's
the
a G League play.
association?
What do you is Jay? If
No,
you're
but
getting
listen.
Jay, let me ask you this, bro, because you sound stupid, bro. If you are
No, I
Bronny
don't.
James,
You're just
yes, you
disagreeing.
do.
It's okay to
No,
disagree.
if you are Bronny James, you only get 3 minutes a game. What are you expected to do in 3 minutes? What are you gonna do? Score 20 points? What are you
No, but
doing in
here's
three
my point.
minutes?
Here's my point, Rose. I'm not talking about him on the Lakers. I'm on Lakers.
Comparing him to everybody
So
else in the league that's
I'm
getting
talking about.
minutes, bro.
Listen, I'm talking about
Talking
what
about
I saw.
minutes.
I'm talking about what I saw prior to that. I'm talking about Sierra
He just
Canyon.
came back.
I'm
He
talking.
just came back from a heart attack, bro. He had open heart
Listen,
surgery and just came
listen.
back. What do you
Okay,
want him to
listen,
do?
listen. I'm not. I get all that. I understand all that. But the same way that
Yeah.
AD, listen, the same way that any player in the NBA gets hurt
It's
and they're
not any player.
available,
A heart surgery, open heart surgery is not the same thing as torn ACL, bro.
so you gonna let me talk or you don't talk?
No, bro, because you sound stupid, bro.
No, I'm just
That just
asking a
sounds
question.
dumb.
So
That just
listen,
sounds dumb, bro.
okay, listen. Hold on now. Paul George got hurt and he came back and what? Do we say Paul
comparing
George
these
is
two
a great
niggas for
player?
real,
No,
bro?
no, no, no. I'm making a segue. Watch this. Paul George is getting criticized because he's not playing well, right? Okay, you're an NBA player now. No one gives a damn. No one. They don't care anymore. It is not college. It's not Sierra Canyon. It ain't high school. It ain't AU. No one gives a damn. You're an NBA player. This is your job.
Jay,
Because
what are
last
you
time
doing
I
in 3
checked,
minutes?
if you're a doctor,
You don't even bust a nut in 3 minutes.
listen. Whoa.
Nut in 3 minutes, bro. Like, bro,
Listen,
what
if
you doing,
your
bro?
doctor have open heart surgery and he come back to being a doctor, are you going to expect him to be good? Yes, because he's a professional. You're
But
going to expect
what
him
are you
to
trying to
continue to.
compare right now?
No, what I'm saying is, as a professional
Let me ask you.
in
Let me
that
ask you this. You're
profession,
the only hooper. You're the only hooper in here, right? Let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you and
I'm
Omar
not a
this.
hooper. I'm not a
No, I'm
hooper.
asking. Oh, I'm asking
Okay,
Rasheem and Omar.
I'm not.
Answer
Oh,
up to this. You are playing at North Cobb right now, and you coming off open heart surgery, and they want you to come in and just get some spare minutes. Say you playing 3 to 5 minutes a game.
But
How many
listen,
fucking
hold
points
on.
is you
bro,
putting
I'm
so
on.
up?
the
Hold on.
open
Hold
heart
on.
surgery was over a year
No, but
ago.
hold on. I'm gonna wrap it up because I have a very interesting take that I can not obviously it wasn't in the NBA, but I have an interesting take for me and Pops. Go ahead, Jay, wrap it up so we can get the low. I'm gonna address it
Basically,
though, real
but
quick.
yeah, I'm siding with Stephen A. He's a reporter. That's what his job is. I understand that he did cross a line when it comes to father and son, but you can't. No, the pressing like in the media, that's great. If anything, it does business for Stephen A. and LeBron. At the end of the day, it's business is business and business is booming. So, but I'm on the Stephen A. side for sure.
Go ahead, Lo.
I agree with a lot with what Rose said, as in I think he should have just kept it strictly basketball and not saying that LeBron did this to Bronny or Bronny's not this. He's not like his dad. Of course he's not gonna be like his dad. Like he's he went to the NBA not NBA ready, which it shows, but at the same time he has that potential. And you can't just throw away potential like that. You can't. Now, at the same time, I do agree with what Stephen A said that he is not great. He's not good yet. He has that potential, like I said, but he was right about him not being a go to guy at all, even on the bench. Um, he definitely did cross the line, bringing in family to it. He could have just kept it strictly basketball, kept it strictly stats. But yeah, that's my take.
Let me.
What LeBron did was, it could have been handled differently, but I understand where he's coming at it from. Because like, if I had a son and they was talking crazy about him, I mean, I'm gonna talk to him.
But you crashing out for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rose.
Let me ask you this before we get to Rasheem, bro. If Bronny was a top 5 pick in this year's draft, averaging 12 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, he's a top 5 candidate for Rookie of the Year. Are we gonna be talking about him the same way and criticizing him the same way if he's
No,
averaging 30 to 35 minutes?
no, no. I wouldn't be talking about it like that.
He's a number 1 pick. If you say, let's say he's a number 1, number 2 pick, we got high expectations for him, and only in 30 to 35 minutes, you're only averaging 10 to 12 points.
With the number one pick, you're expecting him to be LeBron. That's the difference. The elevated pick makes him closer to his dad. My whole point was
Are we criticizing him the same way we are at the 55th pick compared to the first and second pick?
you're
Yes or
criticizing
no?
him more. No, you're criticizing him more at the first pick.
I'm sorry, but
Why? If he
I don't understand why people are trying to compare him to his dad
But because
at
of the
all.
name, because of Logan, it's just because of the junior, honestly. Because LeBron is transcending.
Jay,
LeBron
you a
is,
junior, right? Are you a junior?
yes.
Ain't you a
In my
junior?
entire life, I
If
was
nobody
compared
picked, yeah,
to
when you
who
was
to
growing up,
senior.
but everybody knew you wasn't gonna be compared to him
What
at
right.
all.
But
You
watch
wasn't
this.
gonna be him. You
But
wasn't gonna
watch
be a
this.
preacher. You wasn't gonna do
But
nothing.
hold on. But watch this. It took a minute before the junior got dropped and it was just Jerry Jones. It takes a second. That's all I'm saying. It takes a second. But right now, in the heat of
Do that or
being
people do
compared to
that.
LeBron,
But
people, not me.
they're comparing them to LeBron, but they have what? Two different sizes, their stature.
One dude is 6'9", 270. The other one is 6'3",
They
190.
have totally
I
complete
agree.
different play styles.
I agree with what y'all are saying. I'm saying
One
from
is the
the
number
media
one pick. One is
standpoint,
the
because that's
55th
what we are
overall
now.
pick.
We're the media.
LeBron came into the league
Expecting the
ready.
55th overall pick to average 20 points a game and come out here dunking on
No, I'm
everybody. And he's the
expecting him
55th
not from
overall
being
pick.
no. I'm expecting him not to be 0 for 17 in garbage time. That's what I'm
Y'all get
expecting.
y'all final take.
He's
I'm gonna
playing
put
2
the
to
rest
3
of
minutes a
everything.
game, bro. What do you want him to
If
do,
you
bro?
listen, 0 for 17 is 0 for
Yeah,
17 at the
he
end of the
started.
day, bro.
He did that his first 10 games of the season. Now look at him what he's doing right now. I bet you won't even look at the stats. You won't even look at the numbers right now. You comparing the first 10 games of the season. That's all you got to talk about, bro. You're not even comparing the rest of the season. He's played more games than that.
That's
All right,
great.
look. Check
That's
this out.
great.
Check this out. We don't hit this back another show, but let me jump in here. I'm gonna give y'all the realest comparison I can give on a personal level of being a coach's son, my own personal experience, and I'm gonna go give you a job experience.
If you ever come back.
As soon as I start talking, this thing start lying. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, talk, bro.
All right, my bad. So I'm gonna give y'all 3 different scenarios here. So I'm gonna give you Sheen's personal experience, Sheen being a coach's son, and I'm gonna give you work experience. The thing that we keep forgetting, like Pops alluded to, at the end of the day, this is a job. I don't care what it is. If any of our people put us on and say we just jump, not are we just the intern, but we get a full-time position, there's going to be someone looking at you different because they didn't feel like you didn't earn it. LeBron did what he's supposed to do because any father and Pops would agree this. If the thing is, this is also, and no disrespect here, Logan, at all, but this is some as a community that we forget because we're not used to it. If Pops can sit here and speed a process up for me, why is he wrong? And realistically, like Rose said, everyone in here is right. The thing we keep forgetting is the whole realism of the situation. This is an occupation and a job. Pop sped up the process for me. There's gonna be someone in here. If all of us is working, someone's gonna be like, "Yo, Sheem ain't deserve that because he ain't been here for 5 years. He ain't been here for 2 years." Hey, Jay just got the job, but Jay's resume. But Pops did what he was supposed to do because that's his job as a dad. The thing is, as a community on its own, that we forget, we're not used to a black dad advocating. I hate to say it, but I'm calling a spade. A black dad advocating for that.
Yeah.
Everyone would love to be in that situation. Was he the best draft pick? No, but Rose is right to a certain extent. Jay, you're right too. Were there players in the draft better? Yes, but in reality of the NBA draft, you only talk about less than 3 to 4 players each year. The rest of them, we don't care. Now, I get it where it's unfair, but at the end of the day, I wear the same last name as my pops. It doesn't matter. If Pops was the biggest drug dealer in New York, I'm still inheriting that because of my
You
last
gotta
name.
be. Exactly. You gotta be.
Look at Big Meech and Little Meech. Little Meech is an actor, but regardless, that name is still attached. Is the expectations fair? No, but that's the reality of the situation. And everyone is right. I don't think neither one of them handled the situation right. Because at the end of the day, Stephen A should have said, LeBron, hey, you know what? We may not see eye to eye, but we're going to do this bigger as black men. Let's go set this up on the podcast and have this discussion. Have an open table discussion. Because that would have done more work than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that we're forgetting, the bigger picture here. Now we got black on black, not trying to make everything color, but this is what media wants. And that's just the reality of the situation. Neither one of them, and out of respect, I'm more teed that Braun did it during the game. If that was anyone else, that's a distraction. But that's LeBron, he's bigger than the team. That's not the right place or the right time. And another thing that you guys, I think we're missing, and Pops can tell you if I'm wrong. At some point in my life, I had to accept I'm not my Pops. And another thing is, Bronny, we don't know what goes on outside based off of what's another thing. I'm supposed to pull Pops and say, hey, let me talk to you. Hey, I'm my own man. I appreciate what you did. You are wearing the father thing, but at some point in time, I have to be my own man. I'm grown. And that's another thing that we haven't seen when he's supposed to say, you know what, Pops, I'm gonna do you a solid. Let me earn my spot per se. Rose is right. The dude averaging 20 something on the G League. But at some point, yes, I'm your son, but I still need to have that dialogue with my pops and tell him, hey, you did enough for me. It's time for me to shine. I got to do that.
Let me jump in. One
No.
thing you got to think too is something that we all missing. We keep saying is LeBron. Maybe Brownie wants this. This is something that you guys also too is as a father, and you got to think how LeBron thinks of things. Take it off as the son. LeBron hasn't spent no time with his kids. This is the first time he's able to spend time with his son, and he's going to do anything in his power to make sure he can chill with him. And that's what he's doing. Now, is it wrong? No, it's not wrong because guess what? If I can do it, I would do it too. Everybody's hating because every parent, father would have did the same thing. You get the chance to play with your son, and y'all both are still good enough to play. You're gonna do it. But um, the attitude part with LeBron, that was just emotions. I'm gonna say it's emotions. Was it right? Again, I don't know if it's right or wrong because it all depends on your emotions at that time. At that time, he seen Steve A and was like, "Yo, dog, I'm just tired of it." Everybody has those moments. Now, the key is remind you. What do this moment remind you of? The Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Almost like the Will
Wrong
Smith. The
place,
only
wrong
difference
time.
is
Hey,
nobody threw them hands. You know what
hey,
I mean?
oh,
But that
hey,
was it.
oh,
Hmm?
hey, oh. You know what another moment this reminds me of? Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. When Ken Griffey would not play for the Yankees because Ken Griffey uh Junior Senior had Junior out there on the baseline or on third base fielding ground balls at batting practice, and they told him he got to go. But the
Yep.
other guys had their kids out there. That's
Yep.
another moment it reminds me of.
Yep. But that's
And this to jump in here. And the reason I get it, I get what you're saying, Pops, about the personality, because I think not to ever say Sheen was on this level, but only thing I can personally relate this to. So, long story short, right? When Pops was my little league coach, we had a
Big
team.
O.
Now, almost every one of my teams, Sheen was. If I wasn't number one, I was number two. Now, the Lakers team, Pops, if you remember, I had a concussion, right?
Mhm.
Now, it was the championship game. She wanted to play. Pops like, hey, that's up to you, whatever. Long story short, that whole season, it was an adjustment period because that the first time I probably was the worst player on the team because the team was loaded. But I still started. Now, I can say in hindsight, not to say this is apples and apples, there was someone saying, well, the coach's son, this, that, and other. Now, Pops made executive decision, if I remember correctly. I didn't play as many minutes as I would play, but the team still won. And not to say, what's the comparison here? When you said about the minutes here is, I think also because Braun has that control and power, at some point there has to be a realism. Is he beating the guys in practice? Is he doing this? Because we're at the highest level. We're not
Mhm.
at the small level. It has to be, hey, Pops out to, hey, Ryan, I ain't to lie to you. You ain't the best player of the team. You got to take a seat. And I get Braun is exceeding. He wants to have those moments. But at the same token, he got to take his behind. Think if he was someone else that's the fighting for that spot, is Brownie truly better than him? That's the only thing I think the world is tired of, but he's not doing the wrong thing because
No,
everyone would do it for their child. But we're just
no.
tired. Another thing is you're on one side or the other. I hate to say it, but you either hate Stephen A or you don't hate Stephen A. You either hate LeBron or you don't. Instead of seeing the whole complex picture of you can see both sides, but both of them are wrong.
Yeah.
And both of them are right. That's why I said this needs to go into a deeper conversation and will bring the media because it's a divide between the media and the players together. If they did a special and let stuff go. And another thing is that I don't think we're alluding to, and I asked Pops about this. Y'all ever notice Stephen A. and Braun never had a relationship? You
Yeah.
arguably have the biggest dude on sports TV and the biggest NBA star. They have
Mhm.
never been, and I think that's what the problem was. When, like my pop said, oh, I'm gonna see this, that, another. It's the Will Smith moment. I really believe if the game wasn't going, Brown would have caught back and hit him.
You know, like to Rose's point, I'm gonna say this, and it's just what you said. Now, like, because Rose said he's putting up 20 plus in the G League. If he's going out there in practice and he's dogging out a Gabe Vincent or any one of those guards in practice, I personally believe he should play more. I'm not saying I don't want anybody to misconstrue that. I'm saying what I have seen from Bronny is not good. If I see more and he's playing more and he's playing well, then so be it. As a Lakers fan before the media part of me, right?
And I
But
think
I'm saying
Braun is
what
having
the
a
yeah,
tendency
go ahead.
of my bad. And I was gonna say the
No, you
last
go
thing
ahead.
before I let y'all go is this is something I had to learn on a personal standpoint. You know, Pops was that's my dad and thing. We had to eventually stop being my coach. He was
Mhm.
just dad.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of times, Rose, you asked about minutes. I was in that situation at North Cobb when you were like, hey, well, what can you do in 2 or 3 minutes? It sucks because you can't. And Pop's sitting there like, yo, dog, your usage rate is crazy if they actually put you in there in a position to
Yeah.
succeed. But we won't know just because it's so early on and we don't know. And another thing I wanted to point out, Jay, that it does suck where I see the other side is you got people like Jaleel Okafor averaging 20 and 12, and he's still in the G League. That was
Mhm.
nothing wrong with his game.
Yeah. He was on the
He
wrong
just got
team.
put out because of this system the NBA wants to run. There's some
Exactly.
ballers in the G League.
Right. Like a guy like Frank Kaminsky, guys like that, like their game doesn't translate. Do I think Bronny's game could translate? Yeah, because he's a 3 and D guard. That's always going to be there. As much as the league has changed and we talk about there's no defense, 3 and D guards are always going to be a thing. Hell, if he just hits the three, he ain't even got to play defense. We've seen that too. I
Mm.
just, but from the bit, and I really want to say this is a paragraph in the chapter book, right? In the novel of Bronny James. But in the paragraph, from the media standpoint, which now, guys, as much as I hate, like as much as we always talk about the media, we are now, right? We are now. We're part of the media. We have to address it. He's not playing well. He's not doing good. He's not good yet. Like Logan said, yet. But right now we have to say it because guess what? We can't live for tomorrow. We have to live for right now. And right now, the topics that we have, the kid's not good. Can he be good?
Only thing
Yes.
He's
before we move
not
on
good
to
in
our
the
two,
NBA.
Huh?
I
Yeah,
won't
that's
even
what I'm
say
saying. On the
that.
NBA
But,
level,
NBA.
yes. Yes,
well, hold
Logan.
on, hold
On the
on.
NBA
The only
level, he's
reason I'm
not
not
good.
gonna go that far is every player and anyone in here could attest to this because all of us play sports at one point. It's the system that you're in. I really believe if the boy was on somewhere else, and to Rose's point, if he was on a sorry team, the numbers would be there and it'd be a whole different conversation. I just feel like Braun did the
He'd be
same.
rookie of the year.
He sped up the process. In reality of the situation, the kid wasn't ready. And right, we had the health
He
concerns,
was
we had this, and I think Braun lost sight of himself because Pops lost Pops well allude to this too. Sometimes as a dad, you don't see your child. You're thinking if I was him, what would I do? And I think that's what Braun was trying to allude in all of
yeah.
it.
To that point, Kat, I will say one thing real quick before we move on. I will say, and this is a question that I just thought of. Do we think that because Bryce has grown past 6'2" and he's at 6'7" now, 6'6", I believe, do we think that Braun was like, you know what? Let me get Bronny his shine before Bryce comes.
No, he
Because
just
that
wanted
could be a
his son.
thing.
He just wanted his son next to him at the
No, no,
Lakers.
no, no, Lo. That's what I'm saying though. But do we think because Bryce seems to be right? We don't know yet. We'll have to see it. But he seems to be in that level of where Bryce is going to become in that air,
Well, y'all
like
finna
in
my
that
bad, Jay.
range of
Y'all finna be
LeBron.
mad again. The Laker killing undid it again to y'all.
I but look, you hear what I'm saying?
He just
Hey,
popped the tree on y'all
look,
again.
you hear what I'm saying though? Do we think that Braun is looking at, okay, I got Bronny and Bryce. Bryce may actually become,
Bro,
he may be
Bron is
okay
not
with
Bro,
this.
you
Bron
know
is
what's
not picking favorites, bro.
you know
He
No, no,
what's
thinks
no. I'm
crazy
not
though,
saying
bro?
he thinks of his kids the same, that
no, no,
same
no. Hold on, hold
potential.
on. No, that's not what I'm saying though. But I'm saying like, okay, think like a father, right? At a certain point, your kids do certain things differently, right? You think
I
of
don't
them,
think
they
it's
do different things.
to answer
But
your
what I'm
question,
saying
Jay.
is,
I
go
don't think
ahead.
I think it's a no. I just think, like Lowe said, also I think he's living in the moment.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, who's to say he's gonna be around?
It's the fact that there's just no flavor in your wrist that was given from the start, so it just is what it is. Now drop the pin. Well, when I step to the plate, everybody knows that I electrify every time. I just pray and never fall, even when the bullets sick when I signify every